welcome to the channel. It's another beautiful day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it, and I'm glad that you could join me. So, the wildflowers are in bloom. The deer are out grazing in the field, and the poison ivy is ready for the itching. So you know what that means. Time to get the mowers ready to mow. Yeah, I was going to use this thing this year to mow all the fields and stuff. I don't want to wreck the deck on the case because parts. But, well, and who knows, maybe this thing will just be the all-time mower. Last time, we didn't get a chance to mow with it. It rained. It was just gross. And then I did a little short where it mowed about an acre. And then, yeah, I was pretty sure the switch fried out on it. And I've tested it since with an ohm meter. And, yeah, it's fried out. However, I think that it could have something to do with the wiring to the clutch. Is why that fried out, because that wiring is not good. So on this video, I think what we need to do is see if we can actually get it to mow. You know, mow something at least. You know, I don't know, it'd be nice. Wouldn't it be nice to get it mowing? So I'm gonna pull the mower deck off, get this thing up in the shop, and then we will take a look at that clutch, test that thing, and then if not, you know, well, we're gonna have to replace that anyways. But let's test that clutch, and then while we have the mower deck out, I can put the fan on the back because that came in. That's the box I was carrying. So yeah, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be fun. So let me get that mower deck pulled off, and then I'll get it put up into the shop. I know what I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how did it get from down there to up there? It's a deer. They just wander around. They're wild animals. All right, mower deck is off. So now, before we do anything more, I got a couple of comments on the short when I did this, and they told me the problem is most likely because of the stickers on the side of it. So, yeah, you know, they're a little worn, I guess. They're kind of flaking. And this side is probably a little worse than the other one. I mean, they're you know, lifting off, but I think we can still run it for a little bit longer. So, anyways, yeah, great jokes. So, I know what you're thinking to yourself. You're thinking, Kicks, you pulled the mower deck off because of a bad switch? Well, here's my thing. Okay, so when the switch decided to go kaput, or whatever you want to say, it kicked the belt off of it, and that was a little concerning. I put the belt back on, and then I went to press the switch, and it turned on for a second, and then it turned off, and then I had nothing. So I'm thinking, why did it kick the belt? And then I started thinking more and more as I pulled it apart, and I tried jumping it with a piece of wire, and the clutch won't engage, which it should with the switch unplugged, right? I'm just bypassing the switch. The wiring on that is atrocious, so I pulled the mower deck off, hoping to give you guys a better view, because I know you're thinking, well, you can get to the clutch without the mower deck off, and the fan, you can get to that by just taking off the rear tire and then kind of going through the hole here. But I figured if I can pull the mower deck, I can show you guys the clutch better, and I can show you guys the fan better with, you know, the camera. So, mower deck's off. I need to wire these things up so they're not annoying me. And then I still can't see the horrendous wiring there very good. So let's pull that clutch down. It's just a 5/8 bolt. So let me drop the clutch down, get those things wired up, and then we can take a look at the mess of wiring they have going on in this thing and see if we can't figure out what's going on, or at least maybe, you know, test the clutch. So let me get that thing down. All right, bolt is loose. So let's just see if we can't thread this thing out, drop the clutch, and just see what's going on in here. So let's finger tight. All right, there we go. Belt off. All right. Oh, look at that. So that might be our issue, is one of them's not connected, and there's a bunch of electrical tape and a bunch of hinkiness going on here. So let me undo all this electrical tape and kind of see where it's spliced together. And that is, yeah, that's not even connected. That one is connected. It looks like it's just missing the pigtail. So let me see what this is all about. Let me get it unwrapped. All right, so here's what we have. It looks like yellow and red, and then the yellow and red go up, and the red goes in with the tan, and the yellow goes into two blacks. So according to the wiring schematics online, tan is your power and black is your ground. So that means that the power wire fell off. Kind of strange, but it's also melted and really gross. So I think what we're going to do is let's try and push this back on. All right, stay. And then let me go up top and put a jumper wire. Well, I'll show you. Let me get up. All right, so I unplugged this off of the switch, and there's two tans coming in here and a tan that comes out. So this is the power, the two tans coming in, and then we just jump it over to the tans coming out, and then we listen for a click. Nothing. All right, so that didn't work. Plan B, I have my test light clamp onto the positive terminal, and according to the wiring diagram, this yellow one, as they have it, should be ground. So let's just test to see if we have ground. Yeah, we have ground. Okay, so that's good. Now let's pull this wire off. Oh, that wasn't even barely connected very good anyways. Maybe, I don't know. Well, here, let's take this wire off. I'm going to jam this in here and put it on the ground side and then see what we have. All right, so I have the test light jammed into the spade connector, right, or the female side of the spade. And then this is going up to the ground on the battery. And now what I'm going to do is jump that connector to see if power is even coming to this line. So let me know. No, it's okay. Yep. We got power there. Well, life is not looking very promising for Mr. Clutch here. So I'm going to get it pulled off and put it up on the bench and just see if we can't take a better look at this thing. But yeah, it's not looking promising. All right, so I pulled the clutch off. We got it up on the bench. Yes, these are the wires that were underneath it because I was like, I want to replace them anyways. They're kind of gross and whatever. So let me show you what happened. So I've got the battery connected from the John Deere, right, to the negative, and here's the positive. And now this spade, this connector was actually like super loose. So I just kind of crimped it around with the side cutters to make it fit on there tighter. And now, check it out. Clutch is working. So, and I spun it, and I mean, it feels like it's working. So I think we can either A, look for, you know, a pigtail connector, or B, just make our own and maybe fill that full of silicone or something, just so it's not, I don't like how loose that is. So yeah, let's see what I can come up with that. But I think we might have an okay clutch. All right, so after typing into the old Al Gore box and finding out that the pigtail that's can be delivered to me is $25. I said, nope. Here's what we came up with. So the red wire is now going to be a tan wire that identifies as a red wire that identified as a tan wire. And the yellow wire is now going to be a black wire because the yellow wire identified as a black wire. So now the black wire identifies as a yellow wire that identified as a black wire. Make sense? So let me get it all together. All right, here's what I ended up doing. 2 insulated spade connectors, and then I filled that cavity up with silicone just to hold it there. So while that silicone dries, oh, and shrink tubing, of course, but we won't, shrink it until it's on so we know what curve it needs. So, yeah, let's while that's drying, let's go and do that fan on the rear end. All right, welcome to the underside of a John Deere L120. So here's the broken fan that is in question. And my understanding of it is how they break is the belt drops loose and actually knocks the fins off. But I see there's like a guard that's kind of bent down here. And this, which kind of holds the belt in place, isn't even all the way in its slot. Let's see if, yeah, there you go. You can see it's not even in the hole. If I can probably push it maybe. Let's see. Maybe. There we go. So that's where it was supposed to be sitting. So to get this out, I need to probably just take this guard down. And there's one bolt up here. And then this entire crossbar has one bolt right there. But I'll have to get to it from the top. But I should be able to get to everything from underneath here. And then on top of this pulley here is just a snap ring. And then it all just pulls up. And hopefully the gas tank isn't in the way, but it looks like I have plenty of room. So let me get that bolt or nut undone. Let me get that bolt out and pull this thing out of here. And then we'll look at the snap ring and pulley situation. All right, got it out. So here you can see it just hooks into the frame that sits on top of the frame. Bolt goes through here, and then here is that, I took it loose and put it back in. But this is that guard, and so your pulley and fan sit here, well, like that, and then the snap ring is right in here. So easy to get out, kind of hinged on one side, and then one bolt holds it in, and I just took that off so I didn't have to mess with the belt. Easy. Maybe, I hope that helps somebody. There you go. That's what it looks like. All right, it's off. But there were casualties. So I broke Blue Point snap ring pliers. That's always nice when that happens. However, the nice thing is that didn't really fit in there very good to get that snap ring off. So I would highly recommend taking the tire off. However, if you don't, that worked. So I don't even know where I got this. I thought it was Cornwell, but it doesn't even, yeah. So that worked. That's off. So the pulley just slid off from there. Then there's actually a little washer in there. And then, the old broken fan. But we have the new fan. So let's not forget the washer. And then the pulley. And then snap ring hopefully will go on easier than it came off. And we don't break things. So, yeah, I would highly recommend taking the tire off, but it did work. And yes, I did film it, but I don't think you wanted to see 20 minutes of some goober fighting with a snap ring. All right, let's get this back on. All right, all back together. Now our rear end will be cool all summer long. So all that's left to do now is throw the clutch back on and throw the mower deck underneath it. The tractor's rear end, not our seat. Not like air conditioning for the seat. Yeah, it's a fan, but it's blowing on this. It's not blowing on your backside. Yeah, yeah. All right, clutch is back in, wired up, loomed. Everything is nice. That's looking good. A little bit concerning though is I tested it one last time to make sure my wiring was fine on the bench, and it's really slow to react. It doesn't click in nice. It holds it, but it's I'm still a little leery on this thing. Yeah. And the wires were getting hot, so I think it's got some draw, but maybe we'll get away with it. It's not looking good, okay? It's not looking good. That might have to be something we order. So that's back on. Battery is back in, and still have the old switch in here. So, well, let me show you. We'll give it a try. Hold on one second. All right, key on, check, nothing, nothing. All right, so let's go get the new switch, plug it in, and see if we can get this thing to work. All right, new switch. Only goes in one way. There we go. And yeah, it pushes down in there, but let's give it a shot. Oh. Okay. So, not good. So, we lost power here. I heard a noise come from down here, a little click, and then I lost all power. So, let's pull that out. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see that it blew out the fuse. So, I could try and throw another fuse in there, but I am 99% sure that this clutch is just drawing too much. So, yeah, I think we're going to have to just order a new clutch. It's not, I'm just going to keep blowing fuses. I could try and throw another fuse in there. Well, all right, let's throw another fuse in there and try it again. All right, old fuse out, new fuse in. I heard something again. But it is not clicking. Okay, let's take a look at this thing. Hold on. All right, so yeah, that one's blown too. So we're at 2 blown fuses now. I am going to call that clutch done. You're done. You're done, bud. So I'll get one on order. It's not that big of a deal because honestly, if you look, since bringing this thing in the shop here, it has rained nonstop. So it's not like we could even really mow with all of this water and mud, and it happens to still be raining. So it's not like we could really mow anyways. I don't think that one day this thing will mow. But I guess till then, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and oh, don't forget, be blessed. Peace. I know we're probably sticking more money into you than what you're worth, but we're not going to let you go back behind that shed. Be blessed. Peace.